Surrender. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. And surrender is obeying God. We trust a strange bus driver while taking a trip. We trust a pilot when we fly in a plane. We trust a doctor while taking a drug or during surgery. We trust a mechanic who fixes our car. Why shouldn't we trust the Almighty Lord who takes care of us from birth till death?
Yes. So, it is from this book about surrender. So, what is surrender? People generally consider surrender means defeat, defeated. Surrender means a weakness. Here, positive aspect of looking at is surrender is attunement. If you surrender to God or trust God, that means you are raising your energy level at godliness. So God means divine qualities. There are 6 divine qualities: Aishwarya, Virya, Yasha, Sri, Jnana and Vairagya. In general, Aishwarya means power, beauty and grace. Virya means strength, energy. Yasha means opulence, fame, beauty. Sri means wealth. Jnana means wisdom. And Vairagya. So these are rare qualities. First 5 qualities are very rare. We get attracted to somebody who is very powerful, which is like powerful politician, very wealthy person, very famous person, very beautiful person. But all these people are caught into their pride. I'm very smart, I'm very strong, I'm very powerful. They are attached and slave to their accomplishment. So 6th quality of God is Vairagya, means God is beyond it. God has all this quality but transcend them. So when we surrender to God, we cultivate those divine qualities in our life. Okay. Surrender also means, just not reading, but there are so many things. Surrender is tuning into nature. Like somebody who does surfing, they know how to surrender. They don't use their strength or muscles. They know the waves and then surrender to the waves. And if you are on a sailboat, you know how to use the wind. So that is called surrender. Same way, we get to know our inner tendency and tune into it, that is surrender.
That's surrendering to our nature? Or
to our nature.
Okay.
For example, if somebody has type A personality, if you resist it, you will make it worse. But if you recognize it, work with it, cultivate other kind of quality to balance it. See? So that is attunement. So surrender is like being in rhythm with nature, is surrender. Sleeping early, waking up early, it is also surrender. Following Guru's teaching is a surrender. See? So people want to learn, but their mind is filled with ideas and what they believe. They don't surrender, they don't learn. Surrender, they learn. So really important aspect for learning is being empty. And that is the greatest surrender. And what can you surrender? What can you give? There are so many ideas. Each line has some idea. But what can you give? What can you surrender? What do we have that God is pleased by our surrendering? We take flowers, we take fruits, we give charities, we save people. God is not as much pleased with that as much by surrendering our ego. Surrendering ego to God is true surrender. And we surrender, all the higher powers come into us. Really, by not surrendering and resisting, we are creating more problems for us. And that is why they say, a any uneducated person with devotion in heart would find God very easily than somebody who is a scholar, pandit, filled with ego and power. Because these people, because of their ego, even if God appeared to them, they would question and doubt, and they would miss the moment where God wants to offer the grace. So this is the value of surrender. Being humble, being empty. And surrender is very difficult because we are programmed with society, these days, the fast society, is to control everything. And unnecessary, we produce unnecessary burden on our shoulders. Like many times I explained, a dog was walking under the cart and felt tremendous pressure, started sweating. But he stopped for a moment and the cart started moving and he saw the horses were carrying the cart. And we are traveling the plane and we carry our bags on our head. And this is exactly what we are doing. We don't realize the higher power. And as we read, we trust strange doctors, strange driver, strange pilot. And we don't trust God who takes care of us. We don't have to remember to breathe. We don't have to keep an eye on our heart. We don't have to do any effort to digest the food or wound to heal. All these are happening. So when we realize through meditation the higher power of God, surrender becomes very easy. Surrender empowers us. Surrender brings joy. It expands consciousness.